Hello and welcome to AUGforums.com. AUG is an Acumatica user group, and the forums are an online place where you can ask questions about Acumatica, share information about Acumatica, and build your Acumatica skill set. My name is Tim Rodman, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your free account and get started using the forums. Now, before we get started, I have two quick tips for you. First, everything on AUGforums.com is designed to work 100% on your mobile device. So you can either do this on your computer or on your phone. Second, if you're like me and you don't like watching videos at normal speed, you can speed it up. Just use the gear icon in the lower right-hand corner of this video player window. Then select playback options and change it to something like 1.5 or 2 to make it play faster. That's it for the quick tips. Now let's get started creating your free account.
The first thing you'll want to do when you come to AUGforums.com is create your free account. To do that, come up to the top and click on Forums. This will take you into the AUG Forums area. Now if you're doing this on your phone, just note, let's make this a little smaller. Because it can't display the full menu at the top, you're going to see these three lines. Just click on the three lines and then you'll see the Forums button right there. Either way, click on Forums and now you're in the AUG Forums area. If you scroll down past the AUG Forums logo, on the left-hand side is a login area. This only appears if you are not currently logged in. Now you have three options. You can either use Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn, either one of those three social media accounts to log in. And keep in mind that it's going to take your email address, your picture, and your name from the social media account by default. Now you can change all three of those things once your account is created, but by default it will take your name, your email, and your picture from your social media account. I find the most popular one that people tend to use is LinkedIn, but you can use any of the three, and in this example I'm going to use Facebook. So I'll click on the Facebook login. It opens up a separate browser window. You put in your credentials, in this case Facebook, it could be Google or LinkedIn. This is actually logging in this case you can see on Facebook's website. So you are putting in your username and password into that social media account in a separate window. Then when you click login, it does a little bit of refreshing, and then that social media account comes back to AUG Forums and gives the information, and you can see now that my account has been created. The login area is now gone because I'm logged in, and I have some extra options like my info, and you see over here on the right I have a log out button. Now one last thing I want to point out here is if you come in here real quick to my info and my profile, you'll see that when your account first gets created, you're going to be in the new user group. I'm only doing this because occasionally there's some real spammy users that get created, probably by some internet script running somewhere, and then they tend to flood the forums with a bunch of junk. So I just make sure that you look like a real person, and then I approve you. I usually do that pretty quickly because I get an email notification as soon as your account is created, and because I can do it on my phone, I usually change it pretty quickly. But just notice that when you first come in, you'll be new user, and any posts that you create, people will not see until you have been approved. So you can still create a post, people just won't see it until you've been approved. Now I went ahead and paused the recording and I approved this user. So where we were seeing new user here in the group, if I refresh the web page like that, now you'll see it says group registered. So when you're registered, that's how you know that your user has been approved and everyone will see your posts. Next, let's talk about the difference between forums, topics, and posts. Let's come back to the main AUG Forums page here. If we scroll down, we're going to come back to this menu area in a little bit. But for now, let's scroll down. And you'll see you get this blue bar that says AUG Forums. And then down below that, you'll see the individual forums listed. So first we've got the Acumatica Finance modules, then the Acumatica Distribution modules. And the idea is that we're organizing things by category. So if you had a question or a comment about the Accounts Payable module in Acumatica, you'd put that in the Acumatica Finance modules forum. So each one of these things is a separate forum. You'll see there's quite a few of them. First, it's broken down by the different modules, including the manufacturing modules. But if you go further, you'll see there's one for the Acumatica mobile app, and then a lot of reporting areas, Acumatica dashboards, the data-driven business event alerts, generic inquiries, the financial report writer, report designer, import scenarios, even an area for OData with Excel and Power BI. All of these things are standard out-of-the-box Acumatica functionality. Now I did include here one third-party tool called Felixo Reports, just because I find it's a very popular add-in for Acumatica, and it was created by a good friend of mine, Gabrielle Michaud, and it's a great tool. So we've got a forum for that, but that's the only third-party forum in here. Now if you're not sure which forum to post in, at the very bottom you'll see one called Everything Else. So feel free to use that one if you're not sure which forum to put your post in. But this main page, everything on here is a forum. The next level down is a topic. So let's go into a forum. Let's take the Everything Else forum and click on it. And you'll see you get these little breadcrumbs at the top. So we're in AUG Forums, we're in the Everything Else forum, and if we scroll down, now we're looking at topics. So a topic is like a discussion thread, like an email chain. It's a topic for discussion. And you can see in the posts column how many posts are inside that topic. So in this first one, there's 11 posts currently inside this topic. And the way these get sorted is by the most recent reply. So if we look down here on this Chrome issues topic, if someone were to reply to that right now and we refresh the page, this would actually move up to the top. Now in this particular forum, there's two topics that are sticky topics. That's something that sometimes I'll make a topic sticky if it's something that's important. Those will always be at the top. So if we had replied to this Chrome issues topic, it would sort right up here above the formalized disaster recovery plan topic when we refresh. So all these are topics. You can see how many posts, the last reply on a topic, right here on the right hand side. The last level down is called a post. So if we go into this welcome and introductions topic, for example, and once that comes up, we'll scroll down a little bit. And now we're looking at posts. So the first post is just the post that started the topic. Really, the first post and a topic are really the same thing. But if you scroll down further, you'll see others might have replied. Keep going, you'll see other users. And at the bottom of every post, you're going to see a date and time stamp. Now this date stamp's a little funny right now. This is actually June 11th, 2019. And for us Americans, this format is a little strange. So I'm going to change that eventually, but for now, just know it's a little bit funny. But you got a date and a timestamp, and then you've got the post itself. So each one of these little areas, you see the user who posted it, and then the post itself. These are all posts. So you've got forums, topics, and posts. If we scroll back up to the top, you'll see those breadcrumbs again. I can see them in the AUG Forums area, the Everything Else forum, and the Welcome and Introductions topic. Then I look at the various posts. If I want to go back to the home page, I can just click on this home icon right here, and we'll be right back where we started with all the forums right here. Now I'm actually going to hit the back button because in the next section we are going to actually make a post or a reply on this welcome and introductions topic. The reason I made this welcome and introductions topic a sticky topic at the top of the everything else forum is because I want it to be easy to find, and I think it'd be great if every new user in AUG forums added to this topic. Of course, you don't have to, but I think it helps build the community so we get an idea of who's here, what brought you here, what kind of work do you do with Acumatica, what area are you in, are you a consultant, are you working for a customer. I think it's interesting to find out the stories of people who are actually creating accounts here. Of course, you don't have to do this, but I'll show you how to make your first post. Let's just scroll down here all the way to the bottom. Oops, a little too far. Let me come back. If you scroll past the last post on this topic or on any topic, you'll see you get a little reply area. And so I'm just going to type in something, testing, period. Not too fancy, but you'll see you have all the formatting options you would expect. You can put in hyperlinks. You can even quote previous things that people have said. A lot of stuff you can do. We'll cover screenshots later. But you just type in here, and now you've made your first post. You can also take the little area or icon in the bottom right-hand corner. If you double-click it and drag it down, it will give you more space if you need more space to see. Otherwise, as you're typing, you'll see, I'll put a bunch of stuff in here. Of course, you'll get the scroll bar that you would expect. And you can type a very, very long post if you'd like to. I've written extremely long posts in here, and there's no limit as far as I'm aware of. Now, you have to hit the Add Reply button to actually make your post live. And notice on the left-hand side, the subscribe to this topic box is checked by default. So what will happen if you leave this checked is you will get an email notification now whenever someone replies to this particular topic. Now, if you don't want that email notification, just uncheck this subscribe to this topic box. I'll go ahead and leave it checked. I'll hit reply. You'll see it takes a few seconds to make your post live. Then the page will refresh, and now I can see it tells me that my post has been made, and there it is at the bottom of the topic. Now, if you did this by accident, you will be able to delete your post. I can't remember off the top of my head for how long. I think it's maybe 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. So if you didn't want to make that post, it was a mistake, you can click this delete button here. Just click OK, and now your post is gone. I do encourage you on this welcome and introductions topic to introduce yourself, say what brought you here, what's your favorite color, I don't know, something about you, and I think it's helpful to build the community. In this next few sections, we're going to take a look at the menu that's on top. So I'm going to scroll back to the top of this topic. And you'll see no matter where you are in the AUG forums area, whether you're at the home area or within a forum, within a topic, you're always going to see this menu up on the top, this gray menu that's right underneath the AUG forums logo. You've got the menu for the entire website up on the top, but now within the AUG forums area, I've got this gray menu specifically for AUG forums. We're going to do a little segment on each one of these. Actually, not all of these icons, but on the what I think are the most important areas of the AUG Forums menu. With the exception of this My Info area, all of the other options on the menu are just regular buttons. But with My Info, if you hover over it, these are the real menu options here, these 4 options underneath it. Now, before I click on one of these, I want to quickly show you what this looks like on mobile. Just like we saw up on the top for the main website menu, you have to click the 3 lines to see the options. When you get into the AUG Forums menu, it's the same thing. Click on the 3 options. And then for this My Info area, you don't get the hover over it capability. So what you have to actually do is click on it. Now if I click on it, so let's say I'm on my phone, you're going to see I have the profile, account, activity, and subscriptions options listed right here. That's the same options I see as if I'm back here on the desktop. The same options as if I were to hover over my info. There's the profile, account, activity, and subscriptions. So you can get to all these same options on your phone. Let's just look at the My Profile area. The My Profile area is what everyone else can see. This is the public information that you are sharing about yourself. And right now, by default, you'll see the only thing that people can see is your name, your display name, and your username. Now if we were to go back to that welcome and introductions post, I'm going to open this in a new tab. Let's scroll all the way down to everything else. And I'm going to actually go, I should have left my testing post out there. Let's go make another testing post. This is another test. And we will add the reply. I'm going to leave this tab open so we can easily go back and forth. But I want to point out that the display name is this one right here. It's the hyperlink that people can click on. And when you click on this, I'll go ahead and open this in a new tab. You'll see when someone else on the forum clicks on another user, they're going to see the profile. Now when you're on your own user record, you have these other options, account, activity, etc. But if you click on another user, let me take this user right here, open in a new tab, you'll see all you can see is the profile and the activity. So this is the public information that that user is sharing, the display name, the username, and then you can see their activity, what posts they've made, when they've made them, where they've made them. So this top one right here is the display name, and then this right here is the username. This with this @ symbol right here. And that's what you're seeing by default on your profile. Now in the next segment we'll look at the account and how it can impact the profile. So next let's look at My Account. Now you can either get to it by going to My Info and My Account, or since I'm already in the My Info area, I can just use this Account tab right here. Now you'll see next to every field, here's that display name, here's the username, and you'll see underneath it, it's telling you whether it's public or private. So whatever information you put in the public fields, other people will be able to see. So when I signed in with my Facebook login, it took my name from my Facebook account. It also took my picture from my Facebook account. But I could change my display name. Maybe I want this to say Tim Rodman 2. Maybe I want this to say Tim Rodman Acumatica. And if I wanted to, I could even upload my own custom avatar or my own custom picture if I would like. If we move down a little bit further, you'll see there's this area called AUG Local. Now I won't go too much into this, but if I come back to the Start button, this is the front of the entire AUG Forums website. If you scroll down here, there's a whole section about AUG Local. I won't go into that now, but basically if you want to identify yourself as being in a certain area, you can click the drop down here and let people know where you're at. Now I've also included not just the US, but we've got a few locations outside the US as well. I've only put locations here that people have asked for. So if you're in an area in the world that is not listed yet, just come up here and click the contact button, shoot me a message, and I'll be more than happy to add it. I just didn't want to add every city in the world, not knowing if there's any Acumatica user there or not. So if you'd like a city added, just contact me and I'd be more than happy to add it. then what you can do is, this is not something that I will populate, this is something that you self-populate. Now if you choose it, it will be public, but I'll go ahead and come here and maybe, let's say I'm in the Orlando area. I'll choose that. Now before we go any further, let's go ahead and save our changes. I'm going to scroll down here and save changes. And then first let's come back to the profile. So again, this is that area that all AUG Forums users can see. You'll see I've changed my display name, I've changed my username, I could have also changed my picture, and because I populated the AUG local field and it told me that's a public field, people are now able to see that I'm in Orlando. Now I also want to point out up on the very top here, you know what, I'm going to come back to the member list. Let's hit that in the future segment. You'll be able to even search for other Orlando Acumatica users if they've self-populated that field. Let's come back to account, scroll down here. Let's look at the next one. So the signature, this is also public. Now note that whatever you put in this signature will appear on the bottom of every single post that you've made, past, present, and future. So if I wanted to put a little signature in here, hi everyone, I work for a very cool company, and if I were to save that, and then let's come back to this welcome and introductions post and scroll down. Now here's that post I made where I said this is another test. Right now there's no signature. If I refresh this web page, when that is finished, you will see the signature that I just added is now added on the bottom of that post, even though that was a post I made before I ever added the signature. And you can see this is actually my regular Tim Rodman user. You can see I put a little blurb about the local Acumatica user groups, and that appears on every single post that I've ever made since the beginning of time. So just be aware that's how down here, that's how the signature works. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of mine. Then you also have a little about me. So this might be where you put a little blurb about yourself if you'd like. My bio. And then you can also put in a LinkedIn profile URL, Twitter, Facebook if you'd like. You'll see all of these are public. And that's the end of the public fields. You'll see everything else under here is private. Now let me just go ahead and save this and just point out that on the profile, because I populated AUG local, that's still there, and I put my bio in the about me field, and that is displayed now in my profile as well. So you know when you're in this account area what's going to show up on your profile, because it'll tell you if it's public or private. All the public fields are on the top, and then when you get down to the time zone, this is private. So you can change your time zone so all the post times show up in your time zone. The next field is the email. You can actually change your email address. So I logged in with Facebook. My email associated with that Facebook account is right here. But if I wanted to change this maybe to my work email so that I get all of those topic notifications, forum notifications, we'll talk about subscriptions a little bit later. But if I want to get all my notifications to another email address, no problem. You can change that right here. And you can still log in with that same Facebook account. But now when the AUG Forums goes to send you a notification, this is the email address that it's going to use, not the one from your social media account. So no problem if you want to change that. And then the password, this really isn't relevant. I'd like to find a way to get rid of it, but unfortunately we have some of the original users on the site did have a regular username and password, so I have to leave it here. But since you're logging in with your social media account, this is not really relevant. And that's it. That is the account area underneath the My Info part of the menu. The next area under My Info is called My Activity. Now, just like with account, you can also get to it down here at the activity. And we already looked at this for another user. Everyone can see this, but you can see it as well, of course. And this just shows you all the posts that you've made and when you made them. So in this case, my user has made one post. It was in the Everything Else forum. And if I want to click on it, I just go right there. So if you need a quick way to look at what posts you've made, what topics you've created, just come here to the activity area. And if I come up here, let's maybe take another user that has more activity. You'll actually see right here under a username, when you're on a topic, you'll see that same information. I can go right to their profile. I can also see their activity right here. Nice one-click button. And now I'm looking at that activity. So this user has a lot more activity. And then if there's more than one page, you can just go through the pages this way. So this forum is completely open. When you're making posts in here, everyone can see it in the world, whether they have an account or not. And if you do have an account, of course, you can actually make a post. And the advantage is that Google picks up this. That way, when someone's looking for something about Acumatica, there's a good chance that Google takes them here to the AUG forums. And so that's why all your activity is public as well. Now let's hit the back button and come back to that welcome and introductions topic. And let's talk about my subscriptions. Now if you remember when we made this post at the bottom of the welcome and introductions topic, down here, the first time we made that post, there was a checkbox that asked us if we wanted to subscribe to the topic. Now I already did, so that checkbox is no longer here. But you might find that you subscribe to a lot of topics or even forums as well. So I'll come back up to the top of this topic. And just to show you that real quick, let me open this home page in a new tab and come back up here. And let's just come into the Finance Modules forum, for example. Scroll down a little bit. I can actually subscribe to the entire forum, and I'll get an email then whenever there's a new topic created in that forum. You can also use an RSS feed if you have an RSS feed reader. I'm going to subscribe to this forum, and now that changes to an unsubscribe button. So I've now subscribed to the Welcome and Introductions topic and the Acumatica Finance Modules forum. Let's close this tab. And now let's come back to this first tab and let's go into the My Info, My Subscriptions area. Would have been the same thing as clicking subscriptions right here. And this is where you can manage all of your subscriptions. So first you can do a one easy click check to just subscribe if you want to get flooded with email and get any new topic or post, which would be a reply to an existing topic, or if you just want to get any new topic that's created but not get notified when someone replies to a topic, you could click this. Or you can go through, and this is one reason why we have multiple forums, because you can decide forum by forum if you want to get notified only for new topics. And you'll see this is checked because I just subscribed to the Finance Modules forum. Or you can get notified for any new topic or a post, any repost on any old topic. And then on the bottom here, it'll also list all my subscriptions. So here's the forum, Acumatica Finance Modules subscription, and there's the Welcome and Introductions topic. And you can see you got these little icons that tell you if it's a forum or a topic. So all of that can be managed here in the subscriptions area, or the My Subscriptions area. Now I want to point out one other little thing here. Let's come back to the Welcome and Introductions topic and scroll down. Let me find another user. You'll see the same areas that we just went over. You get the shortcut icons here. I'm going to open Royce's profile in a new tab. So there's a quick jump to Royce's profile. You can see he's in Australia. He's self-identified as being there. But you'll see I can also see Royce's activity, which we mentioned, and there's two other options here. I can send him a message, which we'll talk about next, but I also have an option to see his subscriptions. Now, I'm not sure why this icon is here, but you'll notice that if you click on it, let's open that in a new tab, you'll see that you don't have permission to see another user's subscriptions. Just be aware of that. Not sure why that icon is there. The goal with AUG forums is for everything to be public. That way all the other Acumatica users can benefit. Google can find it and take people to your post in the future. But we do have an option here, if you look at this little icon underneath the user, to send a user a message. Now you can either use this icon, or let's go to Royce's profile, and you'll see up on the top above a user's information here, you can also do a send message button here. Either way, if you click that, you do have the ability to scroll down and send this user a private message. So this would be a private message if I were to send this to Royce here. So we do encourage you to use this if you want to connect with another user, but the goal is to share as much information publicly as possible. Next, let's look at the member list. I think we're done with this tab up here. Let's close this. Scroll back up to the top. Now I'm going to skip over the overview. You can take a look at that if you'd like. It's just an overview of the AUG forums. And let's go straight to member list. Just scroll down here. This is a nice way to find other users. By default, when you come in here, if you scroll down, all the users are listed, and they're listed in order of how many posts you have. As you can see, I'm on the top because I have the most posts. Next, we've got Royce, who posts quite a bit here, then Sean, Michael, so on and so forth. You can scroll all the way down. Let's go all the way to the bottom of this page, and then you can even keep going page by page through the list of users. But you can also search. And I actually reached out to John Roskell, the CEO of Acumatica, recently. Asked him if he'd like to create an account here on AUG Forums, and he did. So if I search for Roskell, hit enter, and scroll down, there he is. You can see he hasn't posted yet, but he did create an account. And so that's a quick, easy way to find a user. You're searching here by either their display name or their username. Those are those same two fields you can see on the profile that we talked about earlier. But you can also search on that AUG local field. So if you remember earlier, I populated that with Orlando. So if I were to come in here now and choose Orlando, and then click search, and scroll down, you'll now see there's 3 users that have populated that AUG local field with Orlando, including the one that I just created recently. I think it's a nice way to see who's out there, search for people's names, and I especially like this page for the AUG local field. And again, if your city is not listed here, just come up here on the top to the contact button, send me a message. I'd be more than happy to list your city on the list. Let's scroll back up to the top, and next after member list is stats. I'm not going to go into that, but if you want to see some pretty cool statistics month to month, how the community is growing, definitely take a look at stats. I think it's kind of interesting. I got some Power BI stats in there. But we'll skip that for now and go to recent posts. We click on this. This is just giving us, if we scroll down, maybe you don't want to get notified for every new post that happens, but if you just want to come in here every now and then and get an idea of what's happening, just go to recent posts, and you'll see not just every new topic, but here's the test post that I did on an existing topic, and this shows up at the top. So this is really at the post level, not at the topic level. So you're seeing every post that gets made in every forum. You can see the forums on the right hand side, and you get an idea of how active things are, how much people are posting, and you can just come in here and take a look at that under the recent post button. The last option we have on the menu is help. I think log out is really the last one. That's self-explanatory. But help is, if you click on this, just a little area you can go in, and the goal here is, as time goes on, I'll add more and more topics here, just giving more explanation, little help articles on how to do things here in the forums. You'll see we already talked about forums, topics, and posts, but there's a little article on that, how to use AUG forums on your mobile phone. And if you got any ideas how to make AUG better, there's also a discussion topic. If you click on this, just open it in a new tab. This is just a topic in the Everything Else forum, and feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear your feedback, how we can continue to make AUG better and continue to add to this little help area for how to do things. And then the last segment we'll do will be how to embed images, which is covered in this article right here. Now we've covered the menu in AUG forums, so I'd like to do one last thing though, because I think it's really important. When you're making a post in an online forum, one thing that helps a lot is if you include screenshots. A picture really is worth 1,000 words. It really helps to communicate what area of Acumatica you're talking about and what specific thing you're addressing. And so there is a link here about how to do that, but I'll just show it here at the end of the video. I've gone ahead and opened up a new tab already, back to that welcome and introductions topic that we had. And I want to show you how you can include screenshots. Now you'll notice on the bottom that there is a choose a files button here. If you were to click this, you could do what I would consider the old school way of attaching files. If you want, you're more than welcome to click that, find the file that you want to attach, and note that you can include screenshots or Excel files, report designer files, not just screenshots, and just by browsing to it with the attached files. But there's a cooler way to do it. I guess maybe the first cool way is if you want to just drag it onto the screen like you do with an attachment in Gmail, for example. You can do that. But I think the really cool way, what I find the fastest, is rather than saving it to your computer at all, you can just paste it right into the post. So I'll show you how to do that. Now first, I realized as we were making posts here that anyone who's subscribed to this topic has been getting notified. So first I want to put a little note here. Sorry everyone, I'm recording an intro video. That's why I've been making these posts. Alright, but let's say now I'm actually in Acumatica. I'm making a real post here, and let's flip over to Acumatica. And let's say I'm on the vendor screen and I have a question about this. So first I'm going to you can use any screen snipping or screenshot tool. I'm going to use just the standard one that's available in Windows called Snipping Tool. And if you use this standard tool, just note that if you go up to Tools and Options, you want to have Always Copy Snips to the Clipboard checked. As long as you do that, you don't have to save every screenshot. You can just click New here, take your screenshot. So maybe I just want to take a screenshot of this. And it puts this on your clipboard if you have that option checked. So now I don't have to save it anywhere and clutter up my hard drive. I could just flip back to AUG Forums, and I can say I have a question about this vendor in Acumatica. So just like you're typing an email, you could start typing, and then the trick here is you can use Control V as in Victor. I'll do that now. and it will actually paste from your clipboard right into the post. And then I can do enter, and I can keep typing. So maybe I actually have, let me come back to Acumatica, go to the purchase settings tab, and maybe I want to take another screenshot. Let's use our snipping tool again, do a new one, and take a screenshot of this. Come back here, and I might keep typing. Specifically, I'm interested, if I could spell specifically right, in the print orders checkbox. One thing I like to do when I'm referencing a specific field on a screen is underline it. Just the way I like to do it. Feel free to do that if you like. So we'll say which is located here. And now I can do Control V again, and it pastes in my second screenshot. You see it gives it a number 787, 788. I find that really nice when you're including a lot of screenshots, you're doing a lot of posts. It's nice not to have to save them to your hard drive somewhere before you can attach them. So Control V is the trick if you want to do it that way. You don't see it when you're typing the post, but if I click Add Reply here, and let's let the post complete. When it refreshes, you can see there are those two screenshots that I just made. So what's really nice, I think, is that you can type, include a screenshot, then keep typing, include another screenshot, so on and so forth, just like you're writing an email. And again, a picture really is worth 1,000 words, so I encourage you to include as many screenshots as possible.
Thanks for watching this Getting Started video. I hope that you were able to get your free account created and that you got a nice tour of the AUG forums. If you weren't able to get your account created, just shoot me a message using the contact button in the upper right-hand corner of this website and I'll help you out. Otherwise, I look forward to interacting with you on the forums. Take care.